And we're back. Mike Cernovich, Danger and Play, Guerrilla Mindset, to talk about how to screen people. I think the question is, how do you assess people when you just meet them to find out? I don't know. To find out whatever you want to find out. Here's why it's a vague question and a vague topic, and therefore why I like it. Most of what I teach is not, here's an absolute universal truth. I'm fucking God. And you follow it and your world is true. Like, no. We talk probabilities. Whatever I teach you has a better than random chance of getting you where you want to get. Probability just means, yes or no, coin flip, 50-50. What we're looking for is more likely than not in everything we do. And then even if you're wrong, you're still building up your mental models and figuring shit out. So we're going to do 10 ways to screen people real fast. I'm just going to kind of lump everything together. We could just say 10 ways to screen women who want to have sex, but that's kind of like a friend of mine, Chris Diotis, a good-looking loser, does all that. So watch his videos, whatever. But let's just say, size someone up. So you always want to look at the face, and here's what you want to look for. So I don't know if you can see, because I got like a ridge on my nose. If I meet a man, I'm looking at his neck, his ears, his nose, and then right up here in his eyes. Why? Because I want to know if he can kick my fucking ass, right? So and this isn't universal. Josh Barnett, for example, has a pretty like well done face. He doesn't have a fucked up face, and he would fucking wreck just about everybody alive. But if you see a guy with cauliflower ears, a fucking thick neck, probably wrestled. If you get into it with him, he's probably gonna pick you up and throw you on your fucking head. Not a good scene. If you see a guy that looks like he's got scars here, okay, probably been punched in the face. Ridge in his nose, I have that because my nose is broken in a fucking combat sambo fight, right? So that's what you want. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I'm looking that way just because that's always street smarts. You always want to know your risk when you go out, right? You never know what's going to happen, but it gives you something to talk about, Oh, yeah, did you wrestle? Or, oh, yeah, how could you tell? Don't say your fucking ears are ugly. Just say, I don't know, you look like a wrestler. There are ways to handle it, but you want to look at the face. Another thing you want to look at is, see right there? So a person who smiles and laughs a lot, they're going to have, a fucking lighting. They're going to have laugh lines, okay? They're going to have little crinkles right here because when you smile, right, that's where it goes. That's where it flexes. So, you see a person, they got a good, laugh lines, probably they smile a little bit. A lot of women, you see that these skulls. And this is especially true as you get older. What do they say? When you get older, you earn the face that you made when you were young. Something like that. It's a little bit more pithy. But you'll see women, and they're just, because that's how, well, if you see a woman like that, you obviously don't want to be around her because she's unpleasant. You want to look for these laugh lines. Forehead lines, that's going to tell you how much time people spend outside, and also, are they on Botox? Now, how do you use all this, right? Depends. If you meet a man who has Botox, that probably tells you he's real vain, or maybe he's gay. Well, that's data. That's all you're doing is you're just taking in data. Okay, so maybe he's gay. Maybe I shouldn't go around calling people faggots, maybe he is fucking real vain, in which case he might be a little prissy, Who knows? Or maybe you're selling him something. So if he's vain, because he's putting Botox, that tells you income bracket right there, right? You wouldn't know this unless you're in marketing. But if you're a straight man who uses Botox, the way I'm going to talk to you is going to be completely different than the way I'm going to talk to someone else. I know right away. Okay, boom. That's data. The data, and that's how you guys always got to be taking in data. And then you sort of figure out what it all means. So, does a person smile? Using Botox? How much time in the sun do they spend? It helps you, guess age, too. So there are all these things. And, again, I don't know why you want to screen people. But I'm telling you things to look for, and then you can determine why you want to screen people. For example, if you meet a guy and he's got a few forehead wrinkles, probably spends time in the sun. Okay, probably maybe that guy wants to go hiking. Maybe that's an outdoor person. Maybe you want to meet outdoorsy people. That's, all I'm teaching you is look for this stuff. Notice details. It'll also put you in it'll put you in the moment more when you talk to people. I talk about that in Gorilla Mindset, the whole chapter of mindfulness. People are like, be in the moment. So fucking stupid, right? Oh, namaste, I'm in the moment, No, like, see how I have little veins right here, Pride means that, lift weights a little bit now and then. Like, me, when I see them, I'm like, good, I got good blood circulation. I'm in a different place in my life now, right? I'm like, oh, God, those veins are good. That means I got blood pumping in my brain. But if you look at me and, you see veins popping, like, okay, like, he probably lifts weights, ridge on his nose, probably been punched in the face. Okay, maybe this isn't the guy to start a fight with, right? That's kind of how I go through life. Okay, or if I'm going to fight this guy, it better be worth it, because it's going to be interesting. So I was in Thailand, and this fucking kid, man, I don't know why, but I was, talking to my girl. Another girl was there. And he started to walk towards us, and so I'm, facing my girl. She's like this. The other girl's like this. The other girl says to the guy, hey, stay away, leave us alone. The guy comes in, like, wants to talk shit or something. Next thing you know, he's on the ground. What's your fucking problem, mate? Some Aussie, right? What's your problem, mate? And he's laying on his fucking ground. So there's, like, a lot of things that went wrong there with this kid, right? One is, if you see a guy like me, don't fucking talk shit, right? Don't talk shit. That's really fucking dumb. Especially if you're in Thailand, because it ain't the U.S. In the U.S., you get in people's faces, you talk shit, oh, yeah, hold me back, You're in Thailand, you better be real fucking careful. Because a lot of guys there train Thai boxing, you don't know why people are there. But if you see a guy that looks like me, probably not the guy to talk shit on. And then if you're on your back, don't ask me what my problem is, mate. Problem is, mate, if you're close enough to hit me, I'm going to fucking hit you first, right? No street smarts. No way to size people up and assess people. I can look at people right away and say, okay, stay the fuck away from that guy. Not even, like, because I'm not dangerous. I'm a friendly guy, but I'm not the guy that you want to just rush into my face. I could tell you that, forget muscle, because I can look at muscle guys, pretty little faces, little Botox, they exfoliate nice and good. Muscles, if I see a fucking 140-pound guy, and he's got some scars on his face, a little ridge on his nose, and maybe his neck's a little bit bigger than it should be, I'll fucking go hit the 200-pound bodybuilder before I'm going to go fucking scrap with that guy, right? Because that's what screening is. That's what you're looking for. And you just have to add it into the data. There's no real way I can teach it. You just got to notice people. If you watch a boxing match, watch how people move. Watch how their shoulders are. Watch how they walk. I actually met this guy, his name's Vox Day. He's got a blog, Vox Day. And we just met in Paris. Friendly guy. We're friends, We're in Paris. We go have lunch. Or we walked to like a little lunch place, and then he's like, hey, so, you injured your leg. I was like, oh. No, I didn't injure my leg. One of my legs is about half a centimeter or 1 centimeter shorter than the other one. So a lot of times I would get a heel lift, and that evens out my gait. But since I got new shoes, I haven't put it in there. So it's very subtle because I know how to compensate for it. Well, he noticed it right away because unconsciously, So if a guy says, oh, is your leg, a little short, he didn't know it was short. He just knew it looked like I was injured, right? Well, that, sizing people up. Sizing people up saved my ass. I was in the train station in Germany. This was like 10, 12 years ago. So with my college roommate at the time, real nice guy, but not real street smart. And as we're walking, there's this guy comes over to us, and I always notice everything about people. And I noticed he had cigarettes and lighter in his pocket. So he comes up to us and says, like, hey, man, can I get a cigarette? And I look and I said, why, you got cigarettes in your side pocket? And he goes, whoa. He got freaked out. Well, he was going to mug us or pickpocket us or run some kind of game. Oh, you got a cigarette? But I'd already noticed, because I'm always sizing people up, that he, I was like, well, why? You got him in your pocket. And he freaked out because he knew I was on to him. So that's kind of, you got to be street smart. You got to notice details. You got to pay attention to your environment all the time. It'll save your ass fucking all the time. And that's how you're screening people. How do people move? Are they looser? Are they tighter? Are people, they belong or they don't belong? That's another big thing if you want to be real street smart is go into a busy place and just watch people flow. Spot the bad guy. Like, well, how do I spot the bad guy? The bad guy is in there like that, right? He's not flowing. Now, that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. He could be lost. Sometimes people just stop and you look. People get lost. It isn't a sure thing, but you're going to notice. Well, no, I mean, people kind of have a flow. You're kind of walking, but the guy just kind of standing there looking around. Shady people, right? People hanging out by stoops, just standing around. Shady people, right? So that's what you're looking for. That's how you want to think. So, and then as you do that, your mind just takes in everything, and then you can size people up all the time, and then you become more sophisticated. Like I said, I was telling marketing lesson to these girls at the coffee shop, and I was talking about like a website and how it could be better monetized. And I said, well, look around. I said, who's in here, right? Well, who can afford to buy this pour-over gourmet Chemex coffee? 24 to probably 38, no kids, right? You hang out in cafes. Well, you buy MacBooks, you buy iPhones, probably buy designer clothing. If they're women, they're buying Kate Spade. If they're men, they're buying Michael Kors, right? Well, I know all this because you just look, right? And then you can put together demographic profiles, and then you know, okay, here's the marketing, right? So everything, you know everything because everything's connected, and that's the way I'm always integrating data into the world. Like, okay, like me, I wear the same shirt every day. I have like 5 shirts. So if you watch my videos, you should be taking that data in. Like, oh, okay. Like, probably, Mike probably isn't the right guy to sell T-shirts to. That's just how you should be thinking automatically. You should be noticing stuff all the time. And then that's, again, you become more sophisticated. But first, you got to notice the details. Next question. I don't even know how many points that was, but this is a 10 ideas video. And I think now I'm just kind of fucking going on about everything. All right, so let's see. There's vibe or aura. That kind of touches into that. That's how you screen people. Trust your instincts. If you feel something's off, it is, but maybe it's not. But I will tell you one thing. Your instincts are right often enough that trusting them in the long run is a better play, right? Life is probabilities. Life, poker, is it a game of luck or is it a game of skill? Well, it's both. If you and I play poker, and you're a professional poker player, I might win a few hands. I might win a lot of hands. But if we play long enough, you're going to win because you got the skill I don't have. I don't read the probabilities and, okay, there's a whatever on the river. I used to watch it because it's so fascinating. You flip. Oh, did he flop? Fuck, I don't know, man. But if we play short term, right, I might win. That's how your instincts are. Your instincts, if you're like, well, that's a bad fucking person, or that woman is bad news, that guy is shady, you might be wrong, but you're going to be right more often than not. So trust your instincts. If there's a bad vibe, if there's a bad aura, people say, well, yeah, I don't judge people, because people will prove you wrong. Yeah, the 1 in 10 will prove you wrong, or 2 in 10 will prove you wrong, or 3 in 10 will prove you wrong, but 7 in 10 won't. So do you want to be right 7 times out of 10, or do you want to be right 3 times out of 10? So if every time I haven't trusted my instincts, I can tell this by looking at a guy. I call it the narcissist eyes. Real, needy, sort of pathological narcissists. You can just look in their eyes and tell that guy's a fucking narcissist. Been burned every time because I used to be a good little brainwashed white guilt guy. And these are white people too, so it's not even race, but it's like, oh, trust people, don't prejudge people, evaluate people. No. If I can look and I'm like, that fucking person's no good. Am I going to be wrong? Yeah, 2 out of 10 times I'll be wrong. 3 out of 10 times I'll be wrong. But 7 out of 10 times I'm going to be fucking right. Vibe, aura, trust your fucking instincts. Don't listen to anybody tell you to ignore them. They're fucking idiots. They're trying to get you fucking set up, dude. We're alive because a lot of people before us made the right decisions. That's how evolution works. Trust that unconscious, that vibe, that aura. If you get a bad vibe, get the fuck out. Another way to screen people is language patterns. Beware of people who say everything is this or everything is that. Flaky people are like, oh, namaste, everything is beautiful. Oh yeah, I was at a thing in Colorado Springs, and these people got done with dinner. They all went like namaste, and they were just like white yuppie scum like me. And I'm like, who says that? But they do this. Oh yeah, everything. Oh, the world is gorgeous. Everything in the world isn't gorgeous, right? Don't be. That's a clown. Everything. No, you do have an abundance mindset. You should appreciate everything you have. But if you're saying, oh my God, the world, you're a fucking kook. And you can tell that people too. They have like a cultish look to them. They're like, oh yeah, everything is. Those people are a fucking mess. And that goes back to the vibe point. Stay the fuck away from them. Also, a lot of people say, well, everything is a scam, everything is it. And look at my face, right? This, guys, is very interactive. I throw Easter eggs out all the time. One guy caught one. I was talking about status, and I said, oh, yeah, I bought this, 2011 BMW 335i, but I could afford the M3. That's an Easter egg. He's like, well, Mike, I wonder if you threw that in there because you're secretly insecure because you were poor and you want people to know you're not poor. Well, I'm always throwing stuff in all the time, guys. It's the same thing. So people are like, everything's a scam. So there's like the duality. Not everything is a scam. Not everything is corrupt. The fucking Jew bankers don't control everything, Nothing is everything. Nothing is, flowers. Because a lot of people are like, there's things. It's like, right? You see how their facial expressions change too. And that's, again, that guy watch the face. Now, a lot of people are stone-faced, but look at them. You can tell the expressions people make. I'm almost 38 now, I don't go out and bake, and I do wear sunscreen, but I do wear my emotions on my face now. They're etched in. When I was 25, you have that real soft, oily, smooth face. A lot harder to read. But you should be able to look at my face and kind of tell you what expressions I make a lot, right? You just look for the lines. They're there. That's how you screen people. That's how you size people up. Language patterns too, you want to look at. Everything fucking, right? Well, what's that going to do? Right? Everything's a scam, right? Or language patterns, body language. Another big one, this is a short one though. If he's a man, is he dating up? Right? If you're a man, you should be with a younger, hotter woman. Or at least a hotter woman, or at least a something woman. Right? If you're a man and you're with a woman who's on your level, then you're insecure. Because you're afraid to date hot women, because hot women can cheat on you. That tells me your mindset, scarcity. What if I get cheated on or I'm jealous? Scarcity mindset. So if I look at you and you're not with a fucking hot woman, what do I know? I know everything. Now again, though, that's not always true, right? So maybe he got married younger and they just really loved her. Maybe she's a great person. So you can't say everything is true all the time, but more likely than not, if a man is not dating up, it's because he's a very jealous, scarcity mindset person. Next question, name brand clothing. Yeah, people are wearing name brand clothing, big logos. That's going to be a very narcissistic, status-obsessed person. If you're talking to a guy, does he have a long friendship? I wrote an article on Danger Play, the 10-year test. You ought to have people going way back. If you don't, it's because you've burned so many people along the line, and you're going to be the next person to be burnt. If you talk to people, do they talk about their parents? Your parents should be a footnote in your life. It's like they come up. Like if you and I talk long enough, things are going to come up. Where'd you go to college? Where'd you grow up? Oh, yeah. But if people are talking nonstop about their parents or their ex or something, they're a basket case. Get away from them. Loaning people money. They say never lend money to your friends. 100% untrue. So I was with a guy, met through the internet, and I was like, I'm not sure what to make of him. Well, we're out, and he's like, hey, can I get 100? Because he was grabbing a girl. They were going to get like maybe an hour-long hotel or something. And I said, okay, so I loaned him 100. Never saw the 100. Now, he had been drinking, and I never brought it up either. So he had been drinking, and one or two things had happened. Either he's the kind of person who gets so drunk that they borrow money and don't remember, in which case is that the kind of person you want to know. It isn't the kind of person I want to know. 2, thief. Well, as it turns out, he's a thief. He's a fraud. Some of you may have read his stuff. The guy owes me $100. I'll never ask him for it. But I knew right then, okay, nothing to do with this guy. He's a fucking piece of shit. So yeah, loan some money to people. Don't remind them that they owe you the money. That'll tell you a lot. And then I guess the last one is, and I'll put these in the description below. Ask questions. Question. See if they'll ask anything about you. I played this. It's a game I play with people. Because I play a lot of games to kind of stay in the moment. How do you stay in the moment? How do you avoid being bored? Just persuade yourself there's no one else you want to talk to. There's nowhere else you want to be. And then you ask questions. I've gone 2 hours. And it might have been longer, but then it was like the night was over. Where the guy didn't ask me a single question about myself. I just kept asking questions and questions, and he just happy to talk about himself for 2 hours. At the end of the conversation, he said, Mike, I love talking to you. You're the most interesting person I know. Swear to God. And at the time, I read Andrew or with Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I was like, well, son of a bitch. People love to talk about themselves, right? So I'm happy to let people talk about themselves for 2 hours. But, is that the kind of person you're ever going to really be friends with? Right? 2 hours. So, you got to have give and take. People should be asking you questions too. But don't interject about a point about yourself, because that's how you have to talk with people now. It's like you're waiting to make your point. Just let people talk. And if they don't ask you anything about themselves, there's a lot of people in the world. Go talk to someone else. So I think that's 10. I'll list them off real quick. This is the way. I didn't talk about them in order, but here's the way I talked about them. Ask them questions, see if they ask you questions. Loan them money, see if they pay you back. Listen to hear if they talk about their parents. Parents should be a footnote. They come up, shouldn't be a big deal. Look for name brand clothing. If they have a lot, they're very much in a status, which isn't a good or bad thing, but it's just data. If he's a man, does he date up? Look at the face. Does he go to the gym, cauliflower ear, thick neck, ridges in the nose, laugh lines near the eyes? I forgot to mention this. Twitchy from stimulants, right? This is why fitness people, they're like, oh, I have so much discipline. I'm so ripped. It's like, how much fucking Adderall did you take today, man? How much Adderall, right? If you go to any kind of fitness conference, they're either like this, because they're coming down from stimulants, or they're like this. And then they're like, I'm fucking awesome. These weak people don't know what it's like to have my willpower. But there's them, okay, now they're back up again. They're junkies, right? Now that isn't a bad thing. I have fitness people. I have fitness people, whatever. But it's data. You're taking it in, right? You're just taking in data. That's what I'm doing all the time. Data, reading stuff in. Same way with my back-end analytics on my website. I'm always just data. Meeting people, taking in data, forming more and more and more sophisticated models about the world. That's all you're doing. And then the next one is, part 10 is, next one is, language patterns. Is everything really good or everything really bad? Well, that tells you they're weird, probably weird. You don't want extremists. You want nuance. You want dimension. The world, I'm abundant. I'm grateful for what I have. That said, the world is not all fucking rainbows and unicorns, and it isn't all great. But I choose to be grateful for what I have. But I'm not going to say, oh, everything is amazing every day. I just love my life. I love to laugh and travel. That isn't a real person. A real human being has character, dimension, depth, things going on, layers, right? And the same thing is true of everything is a fucking rigged. God, man, I would get those all. That's why I quit writing about women. For whatever reason, and this is another pattern. It's like screening too, right? I write about women, I get the whole fucking Jews control the world shit, Fuck, Jews don't control everything, dude. If Jews control everything, there wouldn't have been a fucking Holocaust. They're getting hunted down in Paris now. There's anti-Semitism's on the rise. It's like you can have a sophisticated model about Jewish people. You can say, they have above average IQ. They tend to, look out for each other. And is that a, chicken or an egg? Well, Jews look out for each other, which is good. And they kind of have to, because there's been so much anti-Semitism in the world. On the other hand, do they look out for themselves way too much, which makes them seem like in-group, out-group? That's the kind of conversation I would like to have. But you can't have it, because they're like, oh, Mike, you're an anti-Semite. There is no even such thing as Jews. Or other people are like, the Jews control everything. The Jews don't control everything. Look at what's happening in France. They're leaving fucking Paris, dude, because the Muslims are taking over, and they're fucking fleeing to Israel. They don't control everything, dude. They're getting their asses kicked in fucking Brooklyn by street thugs, right? Orthodox Jews are getting knocked the fuck out. Jews don't control everything, But when you write about women, for whatever reason, you get that. So that was a pattern I noticed about the world, and that's why I don't talk about women much, because I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk about the Jews, guys. So that's something to notice. Everything is this, everything is that. No, there's not everything, right? Not everything's all great, not everything's all bad. And then the last one is, you want to screen people to find out if they're excitable or mellow. That's hard. How do you test it? But, again, Well, the more sort of confident you are, there's like a poise, right? It's like a calm, collected, self-possessed masculinity. So if shit hits the fan, you just, you're alert, but you're like, well, what's going on? Well, you're a little bit more mellow. That kind of tells me you're a little bit more self-possessed as a man. That's the kind of guy I want watching my back. Because spazzy people do spazzy things, they make mistakes. And spazzy people also run because they're driven by their flight or fright response, right? So spaz is just as likely to fight as to flee. The mellow guy is like, well, let's kind of figure things out. And that's something you can figure out. So there you go. 10 ways to screen people, but not girls, because that's my friend Chris Diotis. He talks about that, not me. And that's it. Okay. What do you want to hear 10 things more of? I'm probably going to do, this is my second day. This is fucking hard. But I'll probably do a video a day. We'll see. Depends on how many people like the videos. If you like them, if you share them, if you post comments, fuck it, I'll do them. If you don't, then I'll go read a book. All right. Talk to you soon. Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow.